It's your boy Coach Defense here. Thanking you for supporting the channel. Become a lockdown defender by hitting that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And if you're enjoying your time, hit that like button. Help us grow in the community. Now check out our latest video, leave a comment, and as always, you got to step up to lock it down. There is no way possible that we can't cover this Robert Saleh firing. There's no way possible we cannot. It came out of the clear blue sky out for everybody. I mean, we don't even know exactly, what are the circumstances are, although I can, ascertain a few things about the firing. But it seems as if it caught Robert Saleh off guard. He walked in the building, I think it was a normal day. And we are definitely, status quo going into the week 6 matchup. And he's, planning his week, as he normally does with, NFL, week in and week out plans as a head coach, right? Lo and behold, he gets called to the office, Woody Johnson's office, and said he needed to have a talk. And Woody unceremoniously let him know that he would be relieved of his duties. Now, again, speculations abroad, give me your, I guess you can say, initial reaction about this firing, and we'll get into the details of what happened throughout the day.
Like everybody else, shocking. I remember sitting and watching, I try to catch sports podcasts and the normal shows, and it was immediately breaking news, live in the moment, right? And it was Robert Saleh has been fired. Right. It's like, what are you talking about? He's been fired. Now, don't get me wrong. This is, as I've heard, and I will echo, this is not a moment of discussing to fight for him fighting for his job. If you want to let him go, if you want to relieve him of his duties, that's your right. Mm-hmm. My statement is, what does releasing him 5 games into the season do to improve the team? My personal opinion, it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't do anything to improve the team.
I share that sentiment.
Hearing what was said, I call cap, as the young people say.
All the day.
Call cap to it, right? And when looking at it, here's my thing. If we look at and you've made this statement before, and I'm going to reiterate it. If you are hired as a coach from being a coordinator, what is it that you do well? What is your forte? What have you made your money off of? How did your name create a buzz, right? Mm-hmm. I.e. Kyle Shanahan, offensive mastermind. Cliff Kingsbury, let's use him as an example. Cliff Kingsbury, offensive mastermind. Look at what he's done as an offensive coordinator with Jaden Daniels, how he's called up plays, scheme plays. I would like to say, if he's supposed to be billed as an offensive mastermind, offensive coordinator, and you see what the offense for the Washington Commanders is doing, he's in alignment with what his forte is. If you put Cliff Kingsbury on the defense and told him to be a defensive coordinator, and his defense is giving up 40 points a game, he's out of alignment with his assignment because he's an offensive play caller. And I say that to say because Coach Saleh was a defensive coordinator. That's what he cut his teeth on. Mm-hmm. That's what he was, the buzz that he generated, right? if we look at the defense since he's been in New York, I would like to say he's been in alignment with his assignment. The defense, outside of the injuries, the defense has not been the weak link, has not been the gap in the New York Jets. Is it the Legion of Boom? Is it the 85 Bears? Is it the Ravens, the 2000 Ravens? No. But is it a formidable defense? Is it a defense that if it had competent quarterback and offensive play calling, could be a defense that you could utilize to get to not only the playoffs, but the Super Bowl? I would say yes. I would say yes.
Well, I'll be remiss if not in interjecting to say that being my name is Coach Defense, I could like to believe and argue that I know a little bit about it. And with this day and age and the way the rules are set, that's probably as best as defense you're going to get, personnel and scheme and play caller wise in the NFL. That's top notch. Anybody with a competent offense can take that defense all the way to the Super Bowl and win it. If you play your cards right, you know.
Yeah.
All things considered. But yes, a completely and utterly talented group on defense, bar none.
Yeah, yeah. And so when I look at what like Edward said, bad fire, if you ask me, they should have fired the OC 100%. 100%. Because here's the thing. When you look at Robert and you look at his side, his forte, that has not been the issue, right? Again, this is not advocating for his job. If you want to release him, that is you can do that.
It's your prerogative, but
I call it cap on if we're going to fire somebody, the person that should have been released should not have been on the defensive side of the ball. How do you fire the defensive mastermind and then promote another defensive coach
to be head coach? What's the problem?
What does that say if you are firing the side of the ball that has been doing its job and then you promote from that side, but yet
the
person
let's be real. Only reason they didn't promote Hackett to head coach is because of how much of a hack job he did in Denver.
They didn't promote him. They didn't promote him. I'm gonna not clean it up. They didn't promote him because he ain't shit. That's why they didn't promote him.
You're right. He's terrible.
So I took a long route to get to a short stop, which is, listen, looking at this, I've heard it said today, and I totally agree. This falls at the one person's feet who historically has now, if you watch wrestling, Randy Orton was known as the Legend Killer.
Yeah.
This person is a coach killer. This person undermines the organization because he feels that he's so intellectual. He's so, I'm going to paint outside the line, that he misses the team aspect. They said it today. Mandatory is mandatory. What is one of the things that watching the game that you've seen has been an issue? It has been the connection, no different than Green Bay, the connection between the quarterback and the receivers. Where do the receivers a dependent position? Where do the receivers supposed to be? Where is the ball going to be placed? Where is it the throw's going to happen? The back shoulder hasn't been able to back shoulder because all the reps that could have happened, that should have happened in mandatory, not voluntary, mandatory.
Oh, you go all the way back to June. You took us all the way to June. Okay.
Yes, because how do anybody that has watched Garrett Wilson has been labeled, has been heralded, has been championed as the next up and what's up, Jack? The next up and coming stud from the wide receiver position. Tell me how in the hell he had better stats over the first couple games comparison with Zach Wilson
Right.
than he has with what is supposed to have been
A Hall of Fame
a
quarterback.
Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm so tired. I don't want to hear another person say he is one of the greatest throwers of the football. He is so I don't give a damn. How do you have Garrett Wilson sitting there? And up until last week, Garrett Wilson was almost forgot about in the offense.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is why it has perturbed me. It has grinded my gears. It has been damn steel wool rubbed across my gums. He is a cancer.
Yeah.
He is a cancer.
Yeah.
If you are supposed to be a leader, if you are supposed to be heralded as the de facto pulse, the person that has the pulse of the team, then how do you feel that you're above reproach when it comes to leading the team? That's why if you're a coach and you want tenure, yes, they are. If you are a coach and you want tenure, you have to you have to hitch your wagon to a quarterback that is not going to undermine you. And I'm going to end with this because I feel my blood boiling. He has taken the mantle. He sits on my championship Hall of Fame. When I look at my mantle and I look above my fireplace, there is one position that will never be up for anybody to take that spot. This person is the number one de facto creme de la creme cancer of all time quarterback. When I look up there, he ran past Carson Wentz. He now is so far ahead. He is out there so far now. Nobody else has to worry about even, you know what? Everybody else is fighting for second place because he's a cancer. And here's the other thing. I know I said I was going to end. I'm going to end with this. What would Devontae Adams do? Everybody's been talking about get Devontae there, get Devontae Garrett, get Devontae. What does Devontae do?
Not a damn thing.
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
After that,
how does Hackett still have a job? You got everything you wanted. You wanted Lazard, you got him. You wanted Randall Cobb, you got him. You wanted the OC who went to Denver and did a batch job, and then you wanted him to be your flunky to do what you wanted to do. So they got him to the Jets. And now people have said, oh, well, he just needs Devontae. What? What else does he need? You didn't gave him the house, the key, the code, the security footage, the car. You didn't gave him everything. And now you're saying that he needs more? Yep. No, the hell he doesn't. He doesn't. And this is what really pissed me off.
So y'all have the excuse, Kurt, because Aaron Rodgers really grinds Kurt's gears. I just want to let y'all know that.
He pisses, because when you think of football being a team sport, he is the epitome he is the anti of team. Yeah. When you're talking about the position that you're the de facto leader. Here's what really ticks me off. People don't understand. This man, and I know you're not emotions, this is business. His kids are in the middle of school. His family is in the middle. This ain't the summertime. This is main school season. And you bring this person, you bring him in on a Monday, a Tuesday. If you wanted to go this route, what difference does it make to let him finish the season right now? Because technically, this is 5 games that he's had the quarterback that's supposed to be the heralded person, the final piece. This is the 5th game. 2 of them, Aaron Rodgers has looked like hot caca, hot garbage, pink dumpster juice, and you're making a decision now. But here's what I will tell you. I saw 2 clips that told me a lot. And this is how you know a player who has 20 years knows better. Robert went up to him to hug him. And first he tried to dap him and then he tried to hug him. He put his hands up in his chest, pushed him away, and looked at him like he was a piece of shit. That's your head coach.
Yeah. We
did it again. He did it twice.
Yeah. So you gotta keep this rolling. But I definitely agree with you. That he definitely is all about Aaron. I think we've covered this in droves from the time he was in Green Bay. We've been doing podcasts long enough, but he's been at Green Bay, the end of that run, to the time he spent in New York. That has been beat to death. That horse is stinking. It's decomposing. There's nothing more to be said from our mouths to everybody else.
I hope he loses all his socks. I hope he loses one sock out of every sock.
All right, I
hope he loses every one of them.
You might think that real quick so we can move on. I won't go too far with this, but Aaron is the problem. Full stop. Aaron is the problem. And I love the new wave of passive aggressiveness that front offices, GMs, owners use to make it seem as if is the real problem is not the real problem. It's real passive aggressive to say that I as Woody Johnson made the decision, right? You let this man fly to a whole different country. Aaron looks like to your point, pink dumpster juice for 4 quarters. Defense played well, held down a high-powered offense, probably one of the more high-powered offenses in the whole entire league, held them down all game, and Aaron couldn't deliver for you. He's supposed to be a Hall of Famer. That's an issue. You let this man fly home, get prepared for the next week, decompress, watch film, like you said, be with his kids. I'm sure they probably had Monday off, come back Tuesday, get ready, get in the building, and get ready for the next week. You wait all that time to bring him in, not call him on the phone and say, hey, we're going to go in the direction so he don't have to waste his gas. You waited, he got into the building. He completely feels blindsided to the point where I don't know what the circumstances were, but you had to have the man removed by security out the building. Like, yeah, security walk him out, right? And then you say it was all on me. Aaron turns a blind eye saying he was blindsided. He had no idea. But the tea leaves start to come out, whereas though they say that not only did Aaron speak to the GM, there was rumors that Saleh was planning on taking play calling duties from Hackett because he clearly is incompetent at what he's doing, right? He was going to let one of the assistants call plays. Of course, Aaron didn't like that. So, of course, he got on the phone and talked to Woody Johnson covertly and say that, well, he's trying to railroad my guy. And so in order for that to railroad my guy, you need to get rid of him. See, this is what you get. I'm sorry.
Say that again. Say that part again so people catch it.
This is what you get, Jets fans. I'm sorry. That's, y'all didn't ask for this, but this is what you get. I'm speaking to Jets fans when I say this. Jets fans, this is what you get as an organization when you have dysfunction at the top. This is what you get. I'm sorry you have to go through this, but this is what you get. And for the front office itself, you should be called on the carpet for the multitudes of mistakes that you made up to this point. You don't give a selfish, completely self-absorbed person the keys to the kingdom and expect it not to fall apart. When he has no clue how to run an organization, all he cares about is himself and his comfort. That's all it is, and that's all it's about. So the moment he doesn't get along with the people he doesn't get along with, they got to go. That he tried that a lot in Green Bay to the point where they got tired of it, they got rid of him, and you signed up for the ability to have that same thing. And that's the problem. See, this is why desperate franchises can't have good things, because you make bonehead decisions trying to make yourself relevant instead of doing it the right way. You should have gone into the draft, like I said, and got yourself a quarterback and build from there. Now you tried it with Zach Wilson. See, maybe the problem is, I'm gonna skip over a little bit. Maybe the problem is that you just don't feel like you can ever choose the right person, because you chose quarterback after quarterback after quarterback, and everybody's told you that this quarterback may not be it for you, but you choose him anyway. You choose him anyway, and he doesn't work out. So you're like, okay, now we've been irrelevant for so many years. Now it's going on 10, 15 years. We have made the playoffs in over a decade. What can we do? Now we're desperate. We'll give Aaron Rodgers whatever he wants to make him come here in order for him to save us. And then look what happens. He gets hurt after 4 plays, doesn't play a whole season. You win 7-10 despite having a quarterback that nobody wanted in Zach Wilson. And you come back and you reload with this whole Aaron Rodgers train again, and it's even worse and it's even more dysfunctional than it was beforehand. Again, you get what you asked for. You get what you asked for. I'm sorry. You get what you asked for. You have to take accountability for, that's the theme of this pod. Accountability. You have to take accountability for the fact that you effed up and you chose Aaron Rodgers and he's destroying your franchise from the inside out. Period. He's destroying it. And there's no reason why Robert Saleh should be fired at this point. And what is firing him at this moment going to do? And it's such a glaring smoke-filled cloud to say that Aaron Rodgers is the cause, but you won't say it. Firing him right now does nothing for you. Interim coaches do nothing for you. If you had aspirations of making the playoffs and going far and making a team, a perennial playoff team, you just screwed that by firing the head coach. You just destroyed the whole structure from there. Everybody else is just kind of looking over their shoulders, thinking like what's going to happen week to week. And again, to your point and to my point as well, the problem was not, there's a problem. Everybody in the chat is saying the same damn thing. The problem is not the defense. The problem is the offense. But yet again, you don't want to point the finger at Aaron and his buddies, because guess what? They're going to get defensive. They're going to go in their shell. They're going to be upset, and they're not going to do anything for you. So you probably did Robert Saleh a favor, in all honesty, by letting him go. He can go sit home and relax and have to deal with this nonsense anymore, because clearly Woody Johnson don't know what the hell he's doing. Aaron Rodgers act like he knows what he's doing. He act like he's smarter than everybody else and has no clue what he's doing as far as running the team, which he should be doing, focusing on how to play quarterback. Because you're not doing that well at all either right now. So you have to realize what the problem is. And the problem is Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett and not Robert Saleh. And you're going to see how quickly this spirals out of control. So for anybody that's invested in the Jets fantasy football, otherwise, I would cut bait right now, because it's going down in flames. It really is. It's going down in flames. I'm sorry. So again, you probably did Robert Saleh a favor, because I'm sure he'll better find another job as a coordinator, whatever the case, because he is a good guy. People like him. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, hell, if I'm the 49ers right now, I'll hire him right back now as a DC if I was them. But, just me. But you may not want to undermine the guy you have in place. But I would say at least a consultant. But yet again, you might have did Robert Saleh because he ain't got to deal with Aaron's BS. He ain't got to deal with Hackett's BS. He ain't got to deal with the front office's BS. The GM, he's a stuck man in this group, because he's been doing well drafting everybody else but a quarterback. He can't seem to draft a quarterback, but everything else has been gravy. But yet again, the problem is Aaron Rodgers and nothing else. So until they understand and accept that, and this is the hot take that I'm going to laugh at when I see happen, is that it's going to go so badly this particular rest of the season that they will have to get rid of Hackett, and Rodgers going to put his flag in the sand and say, if Hackett goes, I go. He's going to retire, and they're going to be back at ground zero all over again. So Saleh's going to be gone, Rodgers is going to be gone, Hackett's going to be gone, and you're going to be left with no quarterback and an expensive defense with no path forward. And the only silver lining is that you might pick high in the draft again, but guess what? Every time you pick a quarterback, you can't get it right either. So I might be on record as saying that the Jets might not be good for a few years, maybe not in my lifetime. It's good. It's dysfunctional and desperate team franchise can't have good things. That's where it is.